Safe Travels Podcast. Real women, conversations, real life. Safe Travels Podcast. Real women, real conversations, real life. Safe Travels Podcast.
Welcome back to the Safe Travels Podcast. I'm your host, Cassie, the rich auntie.
Margaret, the life of the party.
Rashanda Nicole, the bounce back queen.
Margaret, you was kind of hesitant. Do you forget your name?
I didn't. I'm still laughing. Like, we have conversations off camera, so I'm still laughing. I can't turn my tickle off, but I'm good.
All right, so let's get into it, ladies. I think today I want to say safe travels to, like, bad friendships. You know, because friendships are so important in our lives, like just our community of people. And I have had the opportunity here recently just to experience what a good friendship looks like, having that, you know, that authenticity, having people that allow you space to be yourself and be vulnerable. And so just kind of want to talk about what that actually looks like, what a healthy friendship looks like.
Okay. Sounds good. Sounds good. I guess we can first start off by saying how our friendships came about.
That is good. I will say this, and I said this when I spoke recently at a church, is that, you know, we've all worked together for a couple of years now, and I think, you know, we were all cordial, we spoke, we kind of left each other alone, though, but
now we don't.
Right. Now my day ain't the same if I don't talk to y'all, like something is wrong.
Look, I text you, where is you at?
But no, so, you know, my dad passed away in August, and you know, you guys reached out to me, you guys were checking on me, and I thought that was nice because that's what you do when people lose somebody. You just kind of check into them. I'm like, oh, okay, this is, you know, they're just being nice. But then y'all didn't stop.
And you thought once you came back, it was going to be the end.
Yeah, I was like, oh, they got me a gift, you know, they're really nice. But then I just saw how genuine it was, and it was definitely during a time that I was just struggling, and I just appreciated the efforts that you guys put in to make me realize that I wasn't alone. Because, again, a lot of times we don't know how to ask people for help. And it was very hard for me because I didn't know how to receive the love that you guys was pouring into me. If that makes sense. So it was kind of like, it was weird for me, but it was also very exciting because I'm like, oh, I never really had this before, especially going through a very difficult time. Now, I won't say I got some really great women in my life, but it was just different because this was a time that was especially hard for me.
And I think you fought it for, like, initially.
Oh, yeah,
like, kind of like, okay, y'all, I get it. Y'all care about how I'm feeling. I'm grieving or whatever, but okay. But it was like we just kept pushing and pushing. Like, even with work stuff, like, you were still trying to work and do stuff. And I was just like, at first I was like, okay, what do you need me to do? And of course, nothing. I'm good. I got it. So I changed that to, okay, I got it. Whatever it is, because I think we were planning like a expo or something.
Yeah.
What's left to be done? Okay, I'll take care of it.
Yeah. And I remember you telling me too one day, you was like, don't come to work.
Yeah.
We got it. Don't worry about it.
Because I was like, are you coming to work? And you was like, yeah, because I had to get those bags together. Girl, no, we got it.
She came to my office like, we're going to take care of this. So, yeah.
Cassie and we did. Today,
yeah. Yeah, and I think you looked at it like, oh, they just being co-workers, and it's just, you know, this going to fade out after a little while. But we just stayed around like a bugaboo.
Yeah.
Just kept coming.
But that's really what happens, like, when you lose somebody in the way that I did, very unexpectedly. Those first couple of days, you were just bombarded with, I'm sorry for your loss. We're here for you. We're thinking of you. We're praying for you. And you just hear that, but then that slowly fades away. After a couple of weeks, and it's like, oh, but I'm in the thick of it now. Like I don't even know like how to move forward, how to navigate, and so you expect everybody to just stop. You know, and so to have people to be like, oh, we're not gonna stop. Now we're gonna be very intentional about creating a relationship, and so.
We started to just pop up at your house, but we felt like, okay,
it's like we're gonna plan a sleepover. We just gonna take our stuff and just because she out there by herself.
First of all, I live too far out.
It's like, okay, that might be a little bit too much, so let's just kind of gradually, like, just randomly take her to lunch, and like you was having a bad day one day, like, okay, let's go lunch. You know, where you want to go?
That was the balloon day because I went to I was about to blow something.
And we were actually planning to what we were gonna do for you that very day, and then you came to her office. She was like, "Okay, this is Cassie. Now I'll call you back." Then next call was, "Come here." Yeah,
because it was like she came in there, and I said, "You need a hug." And time I hugged her, she just went there. She was just crying,
booing.
And
that was like sadness, but I was also very mad at that moment too about what had happened. So
So let me ask you a question. Have you gotten that massage yet?
I have not. I cannot get in with Massage Envy. Massage Envy, if you hear this, somebody that work for y'all need a better system because I have had a gift card since what, like October of last year?
Yeah.
Like I can never schedule an appointment.
Let's do better, Massage Envy.
All right, so Massage Envy, we on your heads after this. No, but I think a lot of times, especially with women, we see, especially on TV, like women are catty. They're always into it. They're not supporting each other. They're like undermining each other. They're keeping up drama, competition. And I have just been able to see, like in my friendship with you all and some other friendships in my life, that it doesn't have to be that way.
Not at all. And I embrace mature relationships and, relationships where you can be free to be who you are. You don't have to feel like you're in competition with anybody.
Right.
We're all in the same field. I mean, I don't have my license, but you all do. And I'm just, every way I can put you out there, tell people about you, I'm going to do that.
Right.
And you don't find that often. We're all supportive of each other, just like you all are supportive of my brand. Like, y'all have probably the same amount of t-shirts that I have.
Yeah, I got a whole Safe Travels drawer.
And trying to make you come up with other products.
Yes.
Right. Like, Rashanda, you really need to do these stickers.
Yeah, I need some hats. I need some Safe Travel luggage.
Right. I like this tag, yes.
You're taking me too fast.
But no, I just feel like a lot of times you don't see that portrayed in the media, like what healthy friendship should look like. Because oftentimes we just see like the fighting, the cattiness, the judgment. But I have been blessed to have some really amazing women in my life who are authentic, who allow me to just be me. They love me when it's hard. They walk with me through those very difficult moments. Those days when I'm just falling apart. Y'all know last week I cried all day because I was like, I don't even know what's going on. I cried at Publix because they ran out of chicken. So...
and I also think it's important in friendships to give people their space.
Yes.
And to not feel offended when, because we were texting one night just on and on and on. And you was like, okay, I love y'all, but good night.
Good night, yes. I'm not going to text y'all all night.
We kept going. I don't even know what we were talking about, but and she said one thing and then eventually she just fell out the
Well, I'm going to tell you. I was glad that she said it because I was sleeping too.
Right.
I was sitting there like, just nodding like, ooh, they don't stop. I'm ready to go to sleep. And it was just there to coming in, text message coming in, and I'm like, I can't catch up. So when she said that, I'm like, thank you. And I put my phone on the nightstand.
I was so tickled, like even into the next morning, I was tickled by that because we all were thinking the same thing, but nobody
wanted to say it. Yeah.
and nobody felt offended by
Right.
that.
That's
so,
it right there.
Yeah, so that's the thing, like you can say things in a way that it don't make a person, feel uncomfortable or mad or, you being disrespectful or whatever, because we got it. We
But sometimes though is that person ready to receive it though? Because I have a friend who is very like blunt, straight to the point, and sometimes it can come out harshly, even though that's not the intent. But my feelings may be hurt, even though it's something that I need to hear. And so again, going back to that maturity is like, oh, I know that this person is not, trying to be malicious in anything, but it just kind of, that's how it comes out. So how do you navigate, your friendships, just with communication? That we did a episode on communication, but also with different seasons of life. With you guys being mom, you've been married. I have a friend that is a new mom, and so the dynamics of the friendship has changed a little bit. Because she can't just get up and go now because she has this human that she has to take care of. So how do you navigate friendship when life is lifing?
And it's always lifing.
Life is always lifing.
And I, that's something that I do appreciate about you all, because you all hear all the stories, everything I have going on. You can tell when I come in the office or on a text message, you can tell if I'm stressed or what's Corbin got going on. I'm praying for you. I know this is difficult, and I really appreciate that, because a lot of times you don't want to dump on people. You don't want to feel like you're constantly going with them with your stuff.
Right.
Because everybody has some stuff going on. But the fact that you all invite yourselves in to say, hey, how's everything going with this situation? Y'all follow up. Sometimes I just don't even tell you the conclusion of it, because I'm like, I don't want to keep talking about the same thing. But you all gonna make sure, I'm gonna make sure you're good.
Right.
I would say though, I say it all the time, adult friendships are hard.
Yes.
Because like you say, we are at different stages of our lives. Like we get older, we move, and like I just moved here a few years ago, left friends behind. Of course, now our schedule's not connecting, so we can't really see each other. Then one of my friends, after my move, one of my friends, she moved even further to South Carolina. We text every day, but it's not the same as, oh, let's go run here, let's go. Like I used to stop by her office to get cake, that she would bake, or scraps that she would have, like I can't do that anymore.
Right.
And then with her having a kid and I'm having kids, and, their schedules running our lives, we can't, find, so adult friendships are hard, but it's good to have a friend that knows and understands,
right.
Okay, you have this going on. It has nothing to do with me, and we'll meet up in the middle and figure out when we can get some time together.
Yeah. Yeah, and understanding that is so important, because I know I have friends where we don't talk every day, and we're okay with that. But when we do talk, we just pick up where we left off. Like, girl, what's been going on? Fill me in, all of that. And nobody's ever upset. Like, if I hadn't heard from you in a couple of weeks, I'll reach out and be like, oh, I was just thinking about you. We hadn't talked. But, it's not like, oh, she ain't, texting me or calling me, or, like I don't get offended if I see her hanging out with other friends people. Or, so I think that happens a lot in friendships too, where you feel like sometimes you're replaced when your friend or your friends get new friends. And then, a lot of times people don't like mixing friends.
A lot of times you can't mix friends. You cannot.
Some personalities don't.
You cannot. And I tell my husband all the time that I have to be particular about mixing my worlds, because, because I don't feel like you're the same person if not really the same person, but I can't say, or I don't say certain things around certain people that I would say around this set of people.
Right.
So you have to kind of just turn it off and on a little bit. You still the same person. You still being a genuine friend. But if I have a churchy friend that I'm real close to. I'm not gonna mix her in with my, foul mouth friends. Not saying that they can't get along, which they could, but you just have to be aware of it sometimes.
That's true.
Yeah. But then too, you gotta think if we're mature, we should be able to, be in spaces with people that are not like us.
Definitely. And that's why I'm able to be friends with whomever.
Well, that's what I was going to say too, is like a lot of the people that I have connections with, I feel like a lot of us are very similar. So it's not a big deal if we're mixed amongst each other. Like I have friends from Georgia, like we're going on a camping trip next week. So my friends from Georgia, a couple of friends from here.
Rich auntie always travel.
I thought it was glamping.
It is glamping. No, but we've been in spaces together a couple of times, and some of them don't know each other. Like we've done my birthday trips, and it's just been good because I try to have relationships with people that are just naturally free, good spirited, and fun, and not coming with the mess, I guess.
Definitely.
That's at this stage in my life. That's the most important thing to me. I want peace. And I don't like a lot of conflict. I don't like cattiness. I don't like messiness. If we are in a conversation and it's about other people and their business, I don't want no parts of it.
You walk off real fast.
Right.
No explanation, just gone.
I'm out. I just don't.
I'm still childish.
Very much so.
Tell me.
I might not say anything, but but Rashanda be gone, baby.
I have those days where I want the tea, but I'm like, I ain't gonna say nothing. But I mean, some days I just don't. The less I know, the better. I'm out. I don't want no parts of it. And it's so funny because y'all have this little joke about me, how I'm mean, or I'm what do you say, stuck up? What do you say?
You bougie. You very intimidating. Your face just be saying all the stuff that I'm like, girl, fix your face.
It's just I have a low tolerance for just foolishness and nonsense.
And we can tell.
Yeah.
And I try to hide it, but it's just hard.
Like it's instant.
Yeah.
Like if somebody enter a room with some foolishness, your face is just like, okay.
But that's the beauty of getting to know people, though, because if I didn't know you and I just looked at you based on your face, a lot of times I probably wouldn't want to know you. But you have those opportunities where you actually get to know the heart of people, and we've had this conversation before because whatever was said about me to you, and you said, I'm glad I got to know your heart, because so I think that's important too, is like giving people the chance to really show you who they are, to determine if you want them in your life or not.
Right. And this one just had a whole misconception about me.
Oh, really?
What was my misconception?
Don't do that.
Look, no, seriously, I just thought, because we started working, around the same time, and we would see each other like at training, new employment trainings, orientations, whatever, and we would always speak, and I just thought,
and y'all were sorors,
right? And that's what I was gonna say, and I just thought that was gonna be the extent of our relationship. We're sorors. I'll be cordial with her. And that's it. But I like the conversations that we have now. I would not have thought meeting her, like, because she's so well put together, and she just seems like she's so serious all the time.
Right.
But you goofy. But like you say, if you don't just have that conversation, get to know her, you wouldn't know that.
Right.
So I just like, here go one of those AKAs.
And she won.
Here go one of these AKAs that just so prissy and so this and so that and my sorrow and this and that, and just hair always on point, and like, and people looking at me like, oh, she okay? But
actually, anybody.
But, just seemed like so serious and all about business.
Right.
And bougie. So, but it's none of that, y'all. It's none of that. The complete opposite. And of course you like what you like, as we all do. You like nice things and all that, but you're not one of those stuck up.
Thank you. Thank you.
Sorry.
So what point in your friendships have you said, you know what, I just can't do this anymore? We are in two different stages of life. I've outgrown this situation. It's no love lost, but I just got to put distance between you and I because the friendship is not conducive anymore.
So I had a situation to happen like that a few years ago, and nothing against her. It was just, it got to be, she was too clingy, and then she did not like me being friends with the people that I was already friends with. She didn't like me spending time with them, and she would try to keep up stuff between us. And like I said, I don't do mess. And she said something to my friend about me, and didn't realize we were like solid, straight. Mm-hmm. And she was like, "Oh no, we don't do that." So when she told me, and it just turned out to be a whole thing, and she tried to tell me some things about my friend, and I just was like, I don't do confusion. Mm-hmm. I don't do any of that. I feel like if I want to spend time with you, I'll spend time with you. If I want to be with this friend, I'm going to do that. And I don't need you in our space or trying to intervene or anything. So I just told her I just can't do it anymore. And I cut off communication with her. And then that became a thing. And then it went to telling other people, talk to Rashanda because she stopped talking to me because of this. And I just felt, I'm too old for that. And so I had to cut that situation off, and I speak to her, and I hope it's no love lost with her either. But some things if it doesn't serve me anymore, if it's not, I'm done.
Mm-hmm. So do y'all feel like we should let the friend know, oh, I can't deal with you anymore because of blah blah blah, or just kind of start slowly backing away from that friendship?
I think it depends on the situation, because sometimes you can just gradually put that distance between somebody, because maybe they're feeling the same way too. Mm-hmm. And it just naturally happens. But then sometimes it's like, oh, you ain't a good friend, I'm gonna tell you about yourself, and then we ain't never gotta talk again. Mm-hmm.
So what about if you're in a situation where you have a friend that you've been friends with, that you thought was your friend, and it turns out that they've been saying things, and talking about you in a negative way, and you thought y'all were pretty solid and you would never do them that way. Would you, instead of, like you said, distancing yourself from that friend, would you distance yourself and don't say anything, or would you just let them know, this is what I've, found out, and I'm just choosing to,
Definitely give them a chance to explain themselves.
Okay. No.
Because but did they really say that? Do you know that they actually said that?
So it was information that you had to have told them.
Okay. Okay. So, well, in that event, no, tell them out their selves.
Right. Well, yeah, because I heard this thing was like, your friend should know your friend's business.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So things that I share with you as a friend, you shouldn't be sharing that with your other friends.
Right.
Unless I know, I've given you permission to. Right. So if you have shared something that I've shared with you with somebody else and it gets back to me, then yes, we have an issue. Mm-hmm. And we have to reevaluate, is this the friendship that we gonna have?
Right. And it's a lot of stuff that we share individually, like me and you, that we don't say to, when it's all of us together, we don't say anything about it unless you bring it up.
Right, yeah.
And then we'll talk on it, and it don't even have to be anything too serious, mm-hmm. We just don't go, well, Cassie told me blah, 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 right. Until we all get back together and you bring it up. then the other person will say, oh yeah, did you, tell her about that, but we don't never go back and, just all that.
And I have another group of friends. There's 6 of us, and we talk. I talk to each one of them individually. We talked about things. If they share something with me or I share something with them, it doesn't go to the whole group. We just don't. We don't do that. If you want them to know, you will tell them. But I don't. I'm one of those people. I'm gonna keep your business under lock and key. I just don't believe in doing that.
Yeah, I had a situation where I had something to happen, and only 2 close friends was aware of it. They, walked me through the situation or whatever, and then it came back to me that one of the friends had talked about it and actually was like, oh, she's acting this way because such and such happened. And when I tell y'all, it hurt my feelings, like broke my heart so bad, because I'm like, this was a very sensitive situation, and I shared that with you, and after that it's like I can't trust you with anything. So now when we talk, I still have a lot of love for this person because we have a lot of history, but the conversations now is very surface level. You don't know anything about my career, my love life, anything. Like, it's, how are you? I'm great. I hope you're well. Like, that's how it is, because once you've broken that trust in the friendship, then it changes.
Yeah, very much so. And that's like with any relationship. I have to be able to feel safe with you.
Right.
Have to be able to feel comfortable with you, and I shouldn't have to say, "Hey, don't repeat this," but.
Right.
That should go without saying. If I'm telling you my deepest, darkest secret, I'm not telling you for you to spread it. I can spread it, if I want it out there.
My mama can spread it. Yes. That's one thing. I don't tell my mama nothing because sis gonna tell the whole family that I was like.
That's what we say about my grandmother. She's like a broken deep freezer. She gonna let everything out. Just nothing gonna stay on ice. But I think that our group, I don't think we've ever said, hey, don't say nothing about this.
Right.
We have never done that.
Don't have to.
And that's the thing. You know who you can trust. I feel
Absolutely.
like you really know who you can trust. That's a genuine relationship. You know when you can trust them and you can say whatever. It's no judgment, and it's not going to get back to anybody else.
Right. Yeah. And I think that too, like, enough of us as women don't have those safe relationships in our girlfriend friendships where we can just be ourselves and share information and not feel judged, not feel that they're gonna go back and tell another person. And I'm so grateful to have that, because I know I can bring all my mess to the table and y'all gonna be like, okay, because I got that too, like.
Oh girl, I did that.
And the other day, y'all was talking about, we need a sister circle, and I was like, I asked her, I was like, who needs a sister circle? You? And she was like, yeah, and Rashanda. And you too. I know you got some stuff. Come on. Like, when it's that time to lay it out, let's get together and lay it out. No judgment. Yeah.
And so that's why, in closing, I think that we need to talk about the stigma of Black women in relationships, because what we see is not necessarily so. Like, this is a prime example of, this is not those reality shows. I won't call the names. This is not those reality shows that you see on TV where everybody's fighting and, fussing and that kind of thing. And I always say, I watch it for entertainment, but that's not me and my friends.
Right.
And this isn't for show. This isn't for a podcast. This is genuine.
Right, yeah.
So I feel comfortable not being in a room and knowing that y'all will have great things to say about me, and same with me with y'all. Yeah. So it's genuine. I love y'all.
I love you. So safe travels to friendships that are not serving us, and we would love to hear from you guys about how you're navigating your friendships and what friendships that you think you have to reevaluate and let go.
Podcast.
All right. Well, safe travels.
Conversations. Real life. Safe Travels Podcast. conversations, real life, Safe Travels Podcast.